Terry, good morning to you. Talk to me first about what your thoughts are as to what could have precipitated this move.
Good morning. Well, the point about this is I'm startled. I mean, it's not up to government to decide to deregister. The Registrar of Trade Unions has, over the years, registered and deregistered hundreds of trade unions. The way this has been done and the manner of it's been doing is very, very startling, as well as the timing. The point is the Registrar of Trade Unions, once a trade union is registered and fulfills all the requirements and becomes registered, the only way the registrar can deregister is if that union has not duly put in its financial and membership audited figures. That's all. However, an employer, a faction within the union, another union, could complain that the union is out of order, sticking to its constitution, etc. And that matter then has to go to the Labour Court for the court to decide. And then, depending on the court's decision, the registrar can act. This is a most peculiar situation that has developed here, and I just hope that politics is not behind it, whether it's within a faction in the union, within Amcu, whether hopefully not the employer, particularly Sibanye Stillwater, or the National Union of Mine Workers. You know, there's no love lost between those two, because that could merely exacerbate tensions within the labour movement and within the industrial sector itself.
Well, Terry, what could be the motive then here? Because your sense here is it's quite telling, even though you're not willing to put your head on the block. Give us what you think is involved here. What political motive, if there is that, what you're thinking in mind?
Well, the point is, it does appear, everyone keeps saying the government. I don't know which section of the government. Is it the Labour Department? Is it actually the registrar? It seems to be very confusing. What does seem to have happened, don't forget that for a long time now, the National Union of Mine Workers and, for example, the Communist Party, which has always dominated the leadership of that union, have for a long time castigated Amcu as being not a real union, or a mushroom union that's only Johnny-come-lately. In fact, Amcu was formed in 1998, a breakaway from the National Union of Mine Workers over the issue of a strike which was not recognized by Gwedi Mantashe when he was the General Secretary. And it was actually registered from memory, because I don't have my books in front of me, in the year 2000. So we're talking about a union that's been going for nearly 20 years. So it's not a Johnny-come-lately union. It's also the major union in the platinum sector and has a substantial representation, particularly in coal and also in gold as well. So it's a very strange situation, and I'd really like to find out. I'm just hoping that there's not politics involved in this one way or the other, because it could really create problems, more problems than we have already within that sector.
Terry Bell, the Amcu leadership is accused of not having held a leadership election for almost 10 years now. Could that be a good enough reason as to why the union could be deregistered?
It could be if, for example, that issue had been taken up by within the union itself, by a faction or members within the union could take that matter up to the Labour Court. And if it is found to be so, the Labour Court could well rule that the union is completely out of order, that it would be given notice to perhaps hold a conference, an elective conference, or in fact recommend deregistration, which would then go to the Registrar of Trade Unions, who could then notify the union that it will be deregistered. Subject usually, because the registrar has been fairly flexible in these issues. I mean, even in terms of not putting in financial figures. I think of some unions, I mean, the classic being the National Education, Health and Allied Workers Union, which is a very big union.